Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network. Over 100,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Everybody, and welcome to the Sports
Podcast.
I am Joel Anderson.
I'm Jordan Pomaville.
And joining us, as always, is the sports outsider, Phil Ranta.
I'm also here.
Yes.
Yep. I'm on the podcast.
Phil Ranta?
Here.
Very good.
Present.
Very good.
Phil, did you catch any games this week?
No.
It doesn't matter because sports themselves did not matter this week.
Oh, good.
The sports world was embroiled in non-sport controversy.
Ooh, delicious.
Indeed, indeed. That's why we'd like to welcome everyone to our Donald Sterling Supersode.
Donald Sterling Supersode.
Brought to you by
Math.
Wow, I'm really glad we
new
got the
Common
National
Core.
Education Council
Absolutely.
on board.
There was bad press after Louis tweeted about the Common Core math stuff. So
I think
they're
that'll
really,
do it.
they're really trying to come back in.
Well, it's a big, Pilates, anything you can do for
Yep.
that Common Core.
So, well, anyway, getting back, the
What
Donald
did
Sterling.
Donald Sterling do this time?
Well, we're going to get into it.
Newsflash, Donald Sterling, a racist. Except not a newsflash, matter of public record for the last 8 years at least. But a tape was released by TMZ that had him saying that he didn't want his girlfriend appearing at basketball games with African American people. Yeah.
I blame
I thought we
TMZ.
were going to get into more of this later.
We are going to get to more of this later. This is just a little bit
Okay.
a setup, but we do have to tell everyone at home, keep listening, because we here at the Sports Podcast have obtained, and this is huge.
Oh,
We are
right,
scooping everyone
I
with
feel
this.
like Jordan had a bid on this because now he seems very frustrated that you're getting into this right now.
No. We have
just
a
pointing
tape.
it
We have
out.
the
You seem
second.
frustrated.
Well, I thought we weren't going to explain all of Donald Sterling's comments again. I thought we'd.
Not all of them. I thought we just, okay.
All right. Well, anyway, we have a second tape. We've
We have
scooped
the
TMZ
second
and Deadspin
Donald, both have scooped. We have the second Donald Sterling tape.
with our two biggest competitors in the news segment.
Absolutely.
TMZ, Deadspin.
Would you say
Scooped
that
them.
we have the poop on Donald Sterling's second?
I would not
tape?
say
I
that.
would
You
not
wouldn't
say
say that? All right.
Specifically,
I would
that
not
would
phrase
be
it
more
that
of
way.
Chris
Just making
Humphreys.
sure.
Yeah.
We're going to have an interview, too, with a local businessman, a
Yep.
merchant.
Yeah.
Starling, what was it?
Sternal Darling?
Sternal Darling.
Yeah, I see that on my rap sheet right
Yep.
here. Sternal Darling.
He is going to be making his pitch to be the new owner of the LA Clippers.
All right, so we got a new owner interview. We have the second tape of controversial
Yes,
statements.
The second tape, and I'm hearing it's I've been told it's even more explosively controversial than the first Donald Sterling tape.
Guys, this is a really smooth opening.
Do we have
Totally
a weird sportsman?
You're goddamn right we do.
LeBron James update, watch update.
LeBron James update, watch update, brought to you by
LeBron James, all the things he advertises.
LeBron James slams Donald Sterling's alleged comments.
what?
Donald Sterling made comments.
Subheadline, comments no longer alleged. The prick totally said them.
Yeah.
I believe it.
So we're going to cover this in depth more on News. Donald Sterling said a bunch of super racist shit to his girlfriend who was recording the conversation.
Yeah.
Awkward.
And he was married.
The rest-
Double awkward.
Yeah, they
No one seems to care.
Nobody
about
cares that he's married and they're like, his girlfriend, blah, 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 his
that.
girlfriend.
Infidelity.
they've
has
been
flown
separated
right
for
by.
years. They're
Yeah.
estranged.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Well, apparently he's
This
still...
was going to be covered in News.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I promise you.
Okay.
Three
I won't
goddamn
get ahead of it.
pages.
That's what happens when we do one news story for an entire
Love
show.
this.
We front run Jordan's bit super so.
Yeah. Jordan, it's okay. You can go on, honey. Hey, honey bear, go on. No, it's okay.
I need my emergency inhaler.
Yeah. Was that what that was? I thought that was drugs, and I just inhaled all of it.
Oh, wait, my emergency
Is
inhaler.
it an inhaler brought to you by Emergency, the vitamin C company?
The rest of the world responded unfavorably to these comments. And LeBron James, like you and I, is a member of the rest of the world.
Oh,
Yep,
that's true.
I am.
Similarities
true.
end there. Similarities
Yeah.
end there. LeBron said, there's no room for Donald Sterling in the NBA. There is no room for him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cutting right to the point.
Right.
So he's calling him fat, too.
Yeah.
There's just no room for him.
Incidentally, not a controversial opinion coming from LeBron James.
No.
Or anyone, really.
Though I do like the construct in which the commissioner was thinking for a second, well, maybe this will all just blow over.
Yeah.
I really just hope nobody influential in the sport will say anything. Oh, LeBron James said something.
Ah,
Yeah.
nuts.
Oh, I got to get on this.
Ah.
David, is that you? What do I do? What am I supposed to do?
There goes Friday at home with my kids.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right. Of course, first true test of David Stern's puppet regime with Adam Sterling, who sources say is blissfully unaware that he's not actually running things.
Yeah.
Adam Sterling. However, so LeBron James weighed in. He actually said it after the fact that he's really glad this happened. He says, I was later pleased with Adam Sterling's decision. It was big time. So the decision they did make. However, where's Tim Tebow? Right?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Tim Tebow's got to have an opinion about this.
Noticeably silent on this issue.
Yeah,
Whoa.
where's he?
Right?
Whoa.
Is he racist?
Well, I just think you'd think he would have come out and said by now there's a clear distinction between being racist and being against racism, but very much for family values.
Right.
Huge difference there.
There's a big difference.
Right? Johnny Manziel,
Yeah.
nothing.
Wow.
Really?
I
What?
did the Google News search. I checked both their Twitter feeds. Nothing on
You
Johnny
should have
Manziel.
said something.
Right. I imagine Johnny Manziel had been like, yeah, I called my black friend about that. He's pissed. But I'm pretty sure it's because I'm going to get drafted higher than him. High fives. I'm not racist.
That sounds like him.
Is his black friend Jadeveon Clowney? Because then I feel like that's not true.
LeBron James, update, watch, update.
LeBron James, update, watch, update. Brought to you by...
All the things LeBron James sponsors.
All right, so
We already know what's on
we're
the show
all
today.
well aware of what's
Yeah.
on the
We did
show.
everything backwards.
We did.
Because the world's gone backwards since
We were,
Donald
I
Sterling
mean, I'm
said his
sorry if
comments.
I jumped the gun, but I was a little excited to get into the Donald Sterling
As
stuff
soon
because
as-
we have the lost second tape of Donald Sterling's explosively controversial comments.
Nothing makes Joel more excited than an old racist white man.
So we're going to play the first comment of that tape, or the first segment of that tape,
Yep.
and then we'll do news.
Sounds good?
Yes, absolutely.
The following is audio from the newly discovered second Donald Sterling tape.
I just don't know why I gotta make such a controversy about it.
Well, it's because you're making insult.
Well, no, I'm not trying to insult anyone. It's just, look, listen, I happen to think that Ben Affleck was brilliant casting for the new Batman.
But you love Batman.
I do love
You're
Batman.
saying that is wrong.
No, that's why I like Ben Affleck as Batman, is because I love Batman and I think Ben Affleck's gonna be great.
No, you say, look, you say you love Batman, but then you
I
say
don't
you
want
like
to talk about this anymore. I
you
don't want to
say
talk
you
about
like
this
Ben
anymore.
Affleck as Batman.
I do like Ben Affleck as
But
Batman.
that's my point.
Look, it doesn't matter what I think or what you think. It's what people think. And look, have you seen Daredevil? Ben Affleck's really good in Daredevil.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
Oh, you know what? I'm done. I don't want to talk about this anymore. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
News on the Sports podcast with Jordan, Joel, and Phil.
It's our turn to pile on!
Yay, it's about time.
We had to wait so long for this.
I know.
So much piling on before, but I am ready to just crank up the moral outrage to an 11.
Me too.
Los Angeles Clippers owner Donald Sterling is a horrible racist.
What?
Subheadline, Donald Sterling's Wikipedia page is on lockdown.
Oof.
Which is really too bad because I like fighting evil with scatological humor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
That's the only way to fight evil.
I hope you guys are ready to draw and quarter a human being with humor.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
My poop is made of
Let's
kryptonite.
skewer it.
All right, Donald Sterling, old enough to know better, young enough not to care, was recently recorded by his half Latina, half black, and 100% fucking sexy 31-year-old girlfriend, V. Stiviano.
Oh.
She was
What's the
acting.
V stand for?
Her name used to be Maria Vanessa Stiviano, but
Ah.
she changed it to hide her ethnicity.
Does she just go
Ooh.
as V?
V. Period. Stiviano.
Kinda hot.
Very hot. She was acting in her capacity as an archivist for him. She's actually been recording him in this way for the last couple years.
Really?
I've really wanted to get myself an archivist for some time now.
I thought she was his girlfriend.
Have we? Well, no, that too.
Oh, okay.
Have we learned nothing from Nixon in terms of recording yourself for posterity.
You're a powerful old white racist man.
Don't do it.
Don't.
Posterity, not worth it.
Right.
It will lead to your undoing.
Right.
Every time.
But her posterior is worth it.
Speaking of racist people, Nixon. Wow.
Yeah.
Even now, wow.
Nixon would not have liked Donald Sterling. In the secret recording, Sterling expressed his displeasure with his girlfriend Instagramming pictures of herself with black people, saying, "It bothers me a lot that you want to broadcast that you're associating with black people. Do you have to?" Now, let's try to see this from Donald's side for a second.
Okay.
You're a racist billionaire.
Sure.
Your best friends are racist billionaires.
Yep.
Who are also just getting on Instagram.
Yes.
Right. They're just figuring this
They're
out.
just getting on it. Oh, they're seeing your pictures. They're starting to follow my girlfriend.
Something must be broken here. This is Donald Sterling's girlfriend with an African-American fellow.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
oh, God, I don't know if I like this new social media. He then went on to say, "Don't put him," meaning Magic Johnson, "on Instagram for the world to see, so they have to call me, and don't bring him to my games."
Is the world calling him?
I'll say this. This is the least racist thing in his entire rant. Because if I'm the owner of the Clippers,
Yeah.
I too would not want the all-time greatest Los Angeles Laker and face of the franchise to be on my girlfriend's Instagram.
I didn't even think about it.
sort
That
of
way.
Clippers are
Fair
always
point.
going to be in the shadow of the Lakers. It's one of
Yeah.
those things like that. Of all the things he said, I mean, he was saying it probably because Magic Johnson was black. However, probably the least racist thing he said.
That may
No,
be
I
the
think the least racist thing he said was that he loves black people, which he said a couple
He
times.
did say that a
Yeah.
couple of times.
Yeah.
Well, there's ways that you say that.
Yeah,
that
in
it's
that
still
context,
pretty
I guess
lit.
it's pretty.
I think it's the least racist thing he put up was probably an article like the.
Right, that's probably true.
Very race
hard
neutral.
for the to be racist.
He then went on to say, "You can sleep with them," meaning black people. You can bring them in. You can do whatever you want. The little I ask you is not to promote it on that and not to bring them to my games.
It's a weird form of racism he has here.
It's-
'Cause it seems like old school racists would have been really upset about her sleeping with him.
So in that sense, he's a progressive racist.
right.
Now he's allowing his girlfriend the run of black males to do whatever she wants with, except take pictures with and bring to games. Is this worth a Bentley?
A Bentley?
What do you mean worth a Bentley?
To Stiviano, it must be, as her lawyers are adamant she is not the one who leaked the tape. She doesn't want her gravy train to end over Little Race's flat. She's
don't
been
blame her.
given cars
Oh,
by Stiviano, Bentley.
right.
it's a good car.
Or by, very car, one of the best. And Stiviano was sued last month by Sterling's wife, Rochelle, who seeks the return of a duplex as well as a Ferrari, 2 Bentleys, and a Range Rover she said her husband bought for Stiviano. And I have a feeling if he were to find out that she leaked the tape, Stiviano may no longer have access to Sterling's legal team for free.
Oh, yeah, that'd be tough.
I think in the lawsuit against his wife,
Probably going to be tricky.
she'd
Yeah.
have to find
yeah.
somebody working for her pro boner.
she also now
boner.
she now has greater ambitions, telling reporters this week that someday she will be president of the United States. She's off to a good start, as she's been busy this week at a hearing about a DUI she received in 2012 while driving that Ferrari.
Right.
Hey, I know someone else who was a president who had a DUI.
Gonna
Exactly,
be-
yeah.
It's going to be one hell of a story when she gets there. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
One hell of a story.
And I'd love to meet her archivist someday.
Now, many people have said that if Donald Sterling is racist, what the hell is he doing owning an NBA team, right?
Yeah.
Well, racism didn't stop any plantation owners to get out of the cotton biz.
That's true.
It's absolutely accurate.
But what would he be better off owning?
Nothing.
I mean, not apartment complexes, as was demonstrated in Los Angeles prior to him owning the team.
God damn it, that was my punchline.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're going to go NASCAR team sponsoring a PGA Tour event, an apartment complex that refuses to rent to blacks and Hispanics. That'd be a good thing for him to own.
Yeah.
those would
Oh, no, wait a second. Because if you're keeping score at home and you say a man should be judged by his actions,
be. Yeah.
Donald Sterling has some racist ass action.
He does, right?
So much worse than the tapes.
2005, his company agreed to settle a similar racial discrimination suit for an undisclosed sum, though one of the largest ever obtained in this type of case, according to the judge. Donald Sterling again faced allegations of racial discrimination. In November 2009, he agreed to pay $2.73 million to settle allegations he refused to rent apartments to Hispanics and blacks and to families with children. Well, I mean, who doesn't like kids?
Right.
So shame on us for not shaming this asshole earlier.
Yeah.
It's like
also, I mean, doesn't want to rent to people with families? I don't know if it's fair to call him a racist. He just sounds like a generally awful human being.
Right. He's a bad guy.
How specific is this to just like a race issue? It seems like there's all sorts of people he hates for all sorts of reasons.
Aftermath.
Okay.
Donald Sterling has received a lifetime ban.
Okay.
Yep.
He is the board of governors is expected to force a sale and to sell the team.
Fair.
This, of course, made Pete Rose realize he's truly got nothing to lose and lead him to go off on his own racist rant.
Oh, okay, yeah. Which he's been holding in.
Yeah, he's been holding it all this time. Basically, the owners need to vote 75% to force him out.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a showing of who's least racist.
Right.
As most people anticipate, it's going to be a 29-0 vote in favor of forcing Sterling to sell the team. However, if any of the owners do not vote to force the sale, they will take another vote and unanimously demand those owners sell their team.
Oh.
So it is possible up to 5 or 6 teams will be changing hands the next year.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of white space there.
Yeah. So to speak.
So to speak.
Who's going to buy the clips?
Me.
How much money do you have, Phil?
Not much. Very little.
I heard about 700 billion is what they're thinking.
No, 1 billion.
I
was gonna say 700 billion would be a lot.
700 billion would be completely ridiculous.
Yeah.
It'd be a little high.
Yeah.
Well, there is someone named Donald S. who has opened a Kickstarter hoping to raise funds for the
Donald
team.
Sutherland is gonna buy the team.
Seems a little suspicious. It
Yeah.
might be Donald Sutherland.
Yeah.
I don't think it is.
It sounds Donald S.
You got one, and you got Oprah, David Geffen, and Larry Ellison. They are one possible ownership group.
Is Oprah into basketball?
She's into Larry Ellison big time.
Right? Yeah.
Pro, great giveaways.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting a Vitamixer.
I would love one of those.
Con, everyone mugged after the game downtown will no longer have a Vitamixer.
Oh.
Try hauling that out down Skid Row.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me the Vitamixer.
Oh, but that's my Vitamixer.
Think of the poor muggers trying to fence these Vitamixers in a market that's suddenly flooded. Those poor guys are not going to anywhere near.
Joel's always thinking about supply and demand curves.
Sean Combs,
Oh.
Pro, would probably change his name to something basketball related for branding purposes. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
P. Diddy'd be like P free throw.
P Donkey.
There you have
Donkey.
it. I had
Yeah,
nothing.
that's it.
P Dribble.
Con, he has better things to do.
Does P. Diddy have $1 billion? Is he that rich?
He would probably be the face of an ownership group, much like Magic Johnson and the
Okay,
Dodgers.
yeah.
you know.
Shrewd businessman.
Also, this could potentially restart the East Coast West Coast hip hop rivalry, which would be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that.
He's East Coast. You'd be buying a West Coast team.
Jordan, don't do that.
All right. Floyd
We've
Mayweather.
said one thing over the years, Jordan. It's please, whatever you do not restart the East Coast West Coast basketball feud.
Jordan, don't do that.
we
won't.
have
I'm trying.
one request for you.
But here's the thing about it, guys. I mean, when we talk East Coast and we talk West
Jordan,
Coast,
Jordan,
don't
I
do
gotta
it.
stop you right there.
Don't do
okay, you have been teetering
But-
on the edge for so many years.
okay.
People are going to die.
Just move
People are
on.
going to die, Jordan.
Floyd Mayweather,
There we go.
pro, a professional athlete himself,
Yep.
would make sure to take care of his players. Con, possible gambling problem.
Ooh.
Also, possibly racist.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, documented gambling problem. Well, I mean problem, but documented gambler.
And you got Magic Johnson and the Guggenheim Partners Group.
Yep.
That would be just desserts. If he bought it.
That would be pretty cool. But again, I think, how would it feel to be, the poor Clippers,
Right. So pro, so far so good in running the Dodgers.
right?
Con would probably think a Clippers television network is a good idea. Higher cable bills for everyone, even people who, crazy as it seems, do not want Clippers television network.
I don't want any sports. Do you know if you got rid of ESPN, then I would save like half of my money on my cable bill?
Thanks for subsidizing my sports habit.
I hate you all.
I don't have cable, but I do have to point out the one great irony I think of this whole thing is you're looking at so the Clippers finally at a moment where they have a chance to seize the mantle of LA basketball, to be focused on for being a playoff team with a real chance of maybe going deep, while the LA Lakers flounder and have their coach resign. And what happens? they somehow managed to completely fumble this moment.
Hey, but they're getting a lot of free publicity on the Sports podcast.
That's true.
The following is audio from the newly discovered second Donald Sterling tape.
No, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
But you said you love Star Wars.
I do love Star Wars. I absolutely
well, then
love
what's
Star Wars.
wrong?
Well, no, it's just... Look, I don't know why this is such a big deal. It's been this way for the longest time. I feel like it's always been this way.
It hasn't been that way.
People have known that episodes 1, 2, and 3 are the best of the 3 Star Wars
Nobody
movies.
thinks like that.
No, okay, everybody thinks
The
like
way
that.
you're thinking is wrong.
Everybody thinks like that, okay? Listen, that's why I'm upset about the new Star Wars movies. It should be George Lucas writing and directing them. Everyone said what a brilliant writer and director he was at the last time.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
No, look, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I don't want to talk about this anymore, okay? I mean, it just seems like it should be obvious. Anytime you revisit old beloved classics like that, they only get better.
But Jar Jar Binks was wrong.
Jar Jar Binks was the best character in the history of the series. If they had someone
Nobody
like
thinks
that,
like that.
no, everybody thinks like that. They've always thought like that.
No, it's wrong.
No, I loved Jar Jar Binks. He was my favorite character.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
Look, if you're right about this, why was Indiana Jones 4 so good?
Because Indiana Jones 4 was not good. It was not good. You thinking that is wrong.
You know what? I'm done talking about this. I'm done talking about this.
Joining us now on the podcast is Sternold Darling, a Los Angeles businessman.
Yes, I'm a Los Angeles businessman.
It's great to have you in the podcast.
It's a pleasure to be here.
So, Sternold, how was it that you made your fortune again?
How I made my fortune?
Yeah, your considerable fortune that you're now hoping to spend a huge chunk of on the Los Angeles
What I
Clippers.
did is I gave away all my money, and it came back to me tenfold.
Can you be more specific?
That's how goodwill brings you more profits.
What you described as a pyramid scheme, I'm pretty sure.
Nope,
Yeah.
I gave away all my money to the poor and the homeless, and then it all came back to me.
A modern-day Job.
Yes,
Is that what you're
I'm
saying?
a modern-day Job, yes. I'm a very good person.
I'm really not clear on how you've managed to pull this off.
Look,
but-
well, let's stop obsessing about how I got my money, okay?
Let's go ahead and move on, though.
Move
The
on
point
to
is,
happier things.
You have your money, and,
Yes.
and now that the Los Angeles Clippers appear to be headed for being open, we already discussed on News several of the different potential ownership groups.
Oh, yes.
But you yourself want to throw your hat into the
My
ring.
hat is already in the ring.
and
I thought that I would be perfect to run this Clippers team.
Okay, well, why do you want to be the guy?
Because I am proud to say that I am the least racist white guy who's also rich in America.
Okay.
Really?
I am
Yeah.
so wildly unracist. Nobody is less racist than me.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, that's sort of a bold and
It's a big claim.
Do you want me
Yeah.
to prove it?
I would love
I'm
for you
not
to
sure
prove
how
it.
you're going to. So yeah, let's how would
Well,
you
first
prove
of all,
it?
when I heard those tapes, because his name is so similar to mine, I was mortified.
Yeah, I
I'm
can
like,
see how a lot of people would mix the two of you up.
I wear this T-shirt that says #1 not racist all the time.
you were wearing it before the Donald Sterling
way
controversy.
before.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of the fact that I am so not racist.
Yeah.
So immediately I had to prove it even more than I already have.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So my #1 thing, I have an Instagram account.
Yeah.
I only take pictures with black people.
Only take pictures
Only
with
take
black
pictures.
people.
If there's a white guy who tries to slip into the picture, I go, not you, white guy.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep, I only take pictures with black people. I share it with my friends.
that seems like sort of a bizarre and difficult to implement policy.
No, it's. I just want to show.
What if you're taking a picture of like a beautiful sunset?
Well, I make sure that there's a black person by the beautiful sunset because I want to show how that black people and sunsets are both beautiful, and I can't live without them.
Okay.
Your followers, are they diverse or in who you follow on Instagram?
Well, you know, on Instagram, anyone can follow you that wants to, and I'm very rich and very well liked.
Yeah.
But I only follow black people.
Okay. Okay. All
And
right.
sometimes people of other minorities, no white people. They've got enough followers
Oh, understood.
because of bad things that happened that I'm very against in American history, like segregation.
Right.
I'm against that.
Good.
Yeah.
Slavery.
Yep.
Against it.
Right.
Yep.
Apartheid. Against it.
Right.
That did technically happen here.
But still, I'm way against it. I heard about it and I cried.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
That's,
sad.
that's a strong emotional reaction.
Especially for someone as not racist as me.
What would you say to people who would say that maybe your emphasis on how not racist you are is potentially an indicator?
Wait, did a
that
white
you-
guy say that?
Well, no one said this yet.
Well,
No,
if
but
a
it
white guy were to
appears-
say it, I would say, well, of course you'd think that way because we live in this racist culture where all you think
Okay.
about is race. If it was a black guy who said it, I'd say, yeah, you got a point.
Well, it's out right there. It does
Yeah,
sound like you're treating white people and black people differently, which is sort of a sign of, discrimination at the very least.
Black guys have it tough enough as it is. All black people have it tough
Yeah.
enough as it is.
I think
So why
that-
shouldn't I give them a little special treatment?
Okay,
You know what? When I'm in line in the grocery store, I still buy my own groceries despite being very wealthy.
You mentioned that
If there's a black person or a Mexican person behind me in the line, they could be 6 people behind. I say, why don't you cut right in front of me?
What about the other people
Yeah.
between you and that person in the
Yeah,
line?
that's just-
If they're
race
still
out of it,
behind
that's
me,
cutting.
that means they're probably white people.
Also, what grocery store are you going to?
Vons, mostly Vons.
God, if you go to a Vons in LA, I feel like there's a pretty decent chance that it's going to be almost entirely African Americans. and
Sometimes I
Hispanic
have to
people.
wait in line for 8 or 9 hours.
That's kind of what I was
Because people
thinking.
just keep getting in front of me.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's fine. They should
Okay.
save some time because my ancestors took away so much of their ancestors' time.
So,
Okay,
really, okay, that's
I mean,
a rationalization.
See?
it's a
That is a
rationalization.
rationalization.
Yeah.
But a lot of
And
people.
anyways,
might-
you give away your spot in line, you're gonna get 10 spots in lines back to you.
Okay, that's a pretty healthy attitude.
Yeah.
A lot of people though might sort of observe that maintaining an Instagram account just to prove how not racist you are is really pretty meaningless.
Oh,
I
I'm not
mean,
trying to prove how not racist I am. I am just not racist.
Okay, that's fine, but it just
Yeah.
it seems like the fact that you're emphasizing your Instagram account so much. I mean, racism sort of stems, I think, mostly just from your interactions.
I'm feeling
with
really
people.
uncomfortable right now on this podcast.
Okay,
Have
why?
you noticed this podcast is 3 white people?
Well, 4. Well, I mean, Phil's getting burritos at the moment. But
It's 3 white people on microphones.
Right,
Okay,
that's
yeah.
correct.
It's very uncomfortable to me. I only generally podcast with black people.
Okay. Well, I mean, we
Sometimes
don't,
Mexicans.
Well, we're happy to have you on
Yeah,
our
we
podcast.
really don't
we're happy
discriminate.
to
We have
join,
all sorts of guests.
Well,
on
you
our
would be
podcast.
happy. You're part of the majority. So your lives must be pretty great.
I mean, it's okay.
Things are good.
Have you ever had a black guy wait behind you in line?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a couple of racists right here.
Okay,
Well,
You're
no,
a couple
no,
of racist
no,
people.
no. I've waited behind them. They've waited. I've been in every conceivable.
Lines
Oh,
Lines
sure, and I
lines
bet
and
that one
lines.
of your friends is black,
I've
too.
made friends with people in line.
All of my friends are black.
Okay.
We could hang out every day and I would never call you my friend.
That
You could help me move and I would not call you my friend.
That
isn't
seems
that
like
kind of terrible.
that's
What
not
do you
even
mean?
racist. That's just mean.
No, it's I don't have enough love in my heart after all the minorities that I love for other white people. I just
That-
can't do it.
That
I don't love
seems-
myself.
That seems a little silly.
I
mean,
kind of hate me.
You spend a lot
I
of time
look in
with
the mirror
someone.
sometimes. I just punch it with my fist and go, why are you white?
Well, what about your family?
Yeah.
My
your
family?
wife, kids, anything like that. Do you have a wife? Do you have kids?
Oh, I could never get married.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I'm gay.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. You know why? Gay people are the minority.
Yeah, that's.
I love
true.
women sexually.
Okay.
I'm gay though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you love women sexually, at least you'd be bisexual at that point.
No. I don't act on those feelings. I still only sleep with men who are minorities.
Do you get any sexual gratification from the sex
No,
that you
it's
have with
not
men?
about me. Why is everything about this white guy that you see before
You're
you?
very selfless.
I'm
selfless
very
to a
selfless.
fault.
You know why?
Why?
You let one guy have gay sex with you, you're gonna get 10 guys having gay sex with you back.
That just sounds like a lot
Again,
of
a
men.
modern
very
day
painful.
Joe.
It's
modern
very
day-
painful.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like even most homosexual people would say that it's really okay if you want to just sort of live your life as the sexual person that you feel you are instead of trying to prove to somebody else that you're a minority.
So do you think I have a chance to get the Clippers? You think I got a chance? I've got the money.
The money,
I've
that's
got-
good.
I mean,
I'm very not racist. You're never gonna. You might catch me going to the Clipper games beforehand, taking Instagram shots of me with black people.
yeah.
You know, talking to one of my minority male counterparts, where they're saying like, "Oh, can I take pictures with a minority?" I'll go, "Yes, do it." That's the audio you'll catch of me.
Well, I feel like none of these things are in and of themselves. I mean, certainly if you were a racist person, that would disqualify you hopefully from being the owner of the Clippers. But how specifically not racist you are, I feel like all of these things aren't going to factor in so much.
I got money.
That's probably going to factor in more than anything else.
I don't know. I don't like your chances, Sterno.
Yeah. Also, again, where did your money come from?
Well, I gave away a lot of money.
I'm really not buying that story at
And
all.
10 times as much money came back because I'm a very good person.
How does that even work, though?
Look, I gave away all my money.
I don't think we're gonna get to the bottom of this.
And then
on
10
podcast.
times as much money
It's
came
just-
back to me.
The people who are going to sell you a pro basketball team are probably going to want to know something
Guys,
about
I'm
your
starting to get the
finances.
shakes. I really need to talk to a
think-
black person soon.
Okay.
All right, you go do that.
All right.
Well, thank you for joining us today on the show, Sterno Darling.
Yep, you're welcome, White Devils.
Okay, thank you.
The following is audio from the newly discovered second Donald Sterling tapes.
I'm done talking about this, okay? Let's put a period on this conversation.
But you said you love the Beatles.
Okay, I do love the Beatles. I feel like, listen, I don't want to advertise it, okay? Listen, but it's just a fact, okay? It's just
Then who's
always
your
been
favorite
there.
Beatle?
Ringo is obviously the best Beatle.
Thinking that Ringo was the best Beatle is wrong.
No, listen, he's obviously the best Beatle. I mean, songwriting alone should make it clear that he's way better than the other
Nobody
Beatles.
thinks like that.
No, everybody thinks like that.
No, it's wrong.
Okay, that's how it's been. That's how everybody thinks. Listen, are you gonna sit here and tell me that you think Yesterday is a better song than Octopus's Garden?
I think it is a better song.
No, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
I'm
okay?
sorry you feel that way.
I can't have you doing these things to me.
Look, I love you.
I love you too, but it's sad.
But the way you're thinking is wrong.
Look, it's just if I'm wrong, then why was Ringo's solo career so much better than the Beatles?
It wasn't so much better than the Beatles.
It was. Listen, this is just the way that people think. It's the way that things are.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
Okay, I don't want to talk about this anymore. Let's put a period in this conversation. This conversation is over.
For you, the listeners of Sports Podcast, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. I personally recommend a wonderful book called The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Joel saw the movie. He said that it was okay. To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network. Again, that's audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network for your free audiobook. And now it's time for another Weird Sportsman! Weird Sportsman.
Who's weird today?
This week's Weird Sportsman is a very special one.
Okay.
We've talked a lot about basketball.
We have.
Troubles that are being seen now in the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
Correct.
So now let's bring it back to this week's Weird Sportsman, James Naismith.
James Naismith. Okay.
James
Who they
Naismith.
named the Naismith Award after?
It's the inventor of basketball.
James Naismith.
Was it Dr. Naismith?
I believe.
Born November 6, 1861. Died November 28th, 1939. Was a Canadian-American sports coach and innovator. What? Canada invented basketball.
Basketball was invented by Canadian?
Yeah.
Oh, my
Yeah, man.
God.
Back then they called it basketball. Oh, that's what if it was invented by the Fonz. Either way. He invented the sport of basketball in 1891 at the tender age of 30. What did you do at the age of 30? Nothing.
No, your mom?
He wrote the original basketball rule book, founded the University of Kansas basketball program, and lived to see basketball adopted as an Olympic demonstration sport in 1904 and as an official event in the 1936 Olympics, 3 years before he died.
Oh, wow.
In Berlin.
That's pretty cool to see the sport you invent go from nothing to in the Olympics.
Yeah, it's like
Also,
basketball. It's like that movie.
Speaking of racists and basketball, the 1936 Olympics had both in spades.
Oh, jeez.
Why'd you have to use...
Oh.
As he also saw the birth of both the National Invitation Tournament in 1938 and the NCAA Men's Division I basketball champions in 1939. He just made it.
The NIT precedes the NCAA tournament?
The NIT was actually the more prestigious tournament for like the first 10 years of existence, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
You're learning so much about
I know.
sports.
I am learning so much.
Born in Canada, Naismith studied physical education in Montreal before moving to the United States.
Wait, he was French Canadian?
Yeah. I know.
My
That's why you
world is
see so
blowing
many
up.
French Canadians playing basketball today.
Tony Parker.
Yeah, they're like, oh, Rene. Where he developed basketball in the late 1891 while teaching at the International YMCA Training School.
Oh.
Now Springfield College. In Springfield, Massachusetts.
Birthplace of basketball.
Yep. Naismith also studied medicine in Denver, taking his MD in 1898 before moving to the University of Kansas. After a decade serving there as a faculty member and part-time basketball coach during the sport's fledgling years, he became the Kansas Jayhawks athletic director. This guy he did a lot for sports.
He did.
He lived for it. Naismith's contributions to basketball earned him several posthumous honors, such as the Canadian Basketball Hall of Fame,
Wow.
the Canadian Olympic Hall
I
of
was going to
Fame.
say Canadian Basketball Hall of Fame and Tim Hortons.
Yes, Tim Hortons Hall of Fame, the Canadian Sports Hall of Fame, the Ontario Sports Legends Hall of Fame, the Ottawa Sports Hall of Fame, the McGill University Sports Hall of Fame, the Kansas State Sports Hall of Fame, and the FIBA Hall of Fame. Mostly Canadian Halls of
Also,
Fame.
presumably the Basketball Hall of Fame.
He is in the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
It is in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Well, it's also called the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame
Oh,
in
there it
Springfield,
is.
Massachusetts.
Yeah.
He was a member of the original Hall of Fame class. That's why they named it after him. And it was named in Naismith's honor, yeah. He was also a National Guard chaplain. Chaplain with
No
the 1st
M in
Kansas
there.
Infantry Regiment. He taught his soldiers basketball to control their excess energy. Stop them from masturbating. His effort helped increase morale and even lowered the rate of disciplinary actions among soldiers, just like the NBA does now. None of them ever get into trouble because they're playing basketball.
Absolutely correct, Phil.
It's absolutely correct. So I'm going to skip down a little bit to some of the important stuff. Personal life, right?
Yeah.
We want to learn a little bit more about this Canadian athletic
I
hero.
feel like
Doctor.
there's some weirdness
Doctor.
that you're
Doctor
gonna drop on
basketball.
top of-
Dr.
It's not-
Canada, that's what they call him because he's a
Yeah.
Canadian inventing the Canadian sport of
I
basketball.
feel like it's not just Canada that you're dropping on us here. I feel like there's more weirdness.
Naismith was the eldest child of Margaret and John Naismith.
That
two
is crazy.
Yeah, two Scottish immigrants.
Oh.
Yeah. So he's Scottish, French, Canadian.
I think the French part we made up.
Right. No, well, he's
He's
from-
just
He was
Scottish
apparently
Canadian
just
at
spent
this.
some time in Montreal.
Yeah, that's fair. His mother, Margaret Young, was born in 1833. Should have called her Margaret Old.
Oh!
And immigrated as the fourth of 11 children to Lanark County, Canada in 1852.
Okay.
His father, John Naismith, was born in 1836, left Europe when he was 18, and also settled down in Lanark County. After marrying, John Naismith worked as a saw hand, like that movie with Edward Sawhands.
Yeah.
Very dangerous.
Seems like if you're spending a lot of time with saws, you wouldn't want to reinforce the idea of saw hand.
Right.
Just throwing that out there. Maybe a new name for whatever that person does.
You scare me when you go to work every day.
Yeah. But the Sawhand and his wife, the couple, soon contracted typhoid fever and died when Naismith was 9 years old,
As one does.
as one does. He was then raised by a strict religious grandmother and his Uncle Peter.
Uncle Pete.
Uncle Pete.
And
Hey, go play some basketball. This is your Uncle Pete.
What's basketball, Uncle Pete?
Make it up. On June 20th, 1894, Naismith married Maud Evelyn Sherman, my lord, in Springfield, Massachusetts.
By the way, is she Southern at all? Does it?
No, probably not. It was in Springfield, Massachusetts. I assume that she was Springfieldan. But if her name is Maud Evelyn Sherman, you know she had a little Southern swagger.
Actually, Sherman, not a popular name in the South.
No, people don't like it. The couple had 5 children: Margaret Mason, Helen Carolyn, John Edwin, Maud Ann, and James Sherman. He was a member of Pi Gamma Mu and Sigma Phi Epsilon fraternities. 2 frats. He's a double frat guy.
What does that mean?
I don't know. It's weird. Did a couple frats at the same time. And regarding his spiritual beliefs, Naismith was a Presbyterian minister. He was also remembered as a Freemason. This dude had a lot of extra.
He was in a lot of organizations.
Yeah.
A lot of scotch.
That's how you get into the McGill University Hall of Fame, is the extracurriculars.
Yeah. Maud Naismith died in 1937. And on June 11th, 1939, 2 years later, he married his second wife, Florence B. Kincaid. I love names from the late 1800s. They're so much better. Naismith suffered a major brain hemorrhage in November 19th the same year and died 9 days later in his home located in Lawrence, Kansas. Naismith was 78 years old. Yeah. And that's kind of his life.
Hey,
Canadian basketball inventor.
Are you guys hearing what I'm hearing here, though?
What?
The real story behind all this?
No.
Basketball invented by the Freemasons. Whoa. Kind of puts this whole Donald Sterling thing into a brand new context, doesn't it?
Makes total sense.
And that brings it into another Weird Sportsman.
Citizens of Podcast Town, this brings the close of our Sports podcast. Before we go, we have special guest star V. Stiviano giving you our contact information.
You can email us at sportspodcast@gmail.com. That's sportspodcast@gmail.com. If you email us at sportspodcast, it's wrong. You can follow us on Twitter by searching sports3podcast. That's twitter.com/sports3podcast. You can find us on Facebook by searching sports podcast, you little top bar thingy. And if you don't follow us, it's wrong. You can find us on Stitcher Radio by going to the Stitcher app at Stitcher.com and searching for Sports Podcast. You can find us on SoundCloud by searching Sports3 Podcast. That's Sports3 Podcast. If you don't follow us, it's wrong. You can find us on YouTube by going to youtube.com/comedypodnet. That's youtube.com/comedypodnet. You can find us on iTunes by searching Sports3 Space Podcast. That's Sports3 Space Podcast. Or find all of our back episodes at comedypodcastnetwork.com.
Oh, guys. What's
up, Joel?
I am on the phone right now with the source of our Donald Sterling tape. Says he has another one. Even more explosive controversy.
Oh, man. Well, let's hear it.
Get this. Donald Sterling. I don't have it. He told me what's on it. Donald Sterling, his favorite lead singer of Van Halen, Sammy Hagar.
Wait, this guy.
The guy's a monster.
It's unfucking believable.
I don't care for that.
Lights off.
You have received this transmission from the Comedy Podcast Network. For more shows, visit comedypodcastnetwork.com.